This is Austin Roney, or Mr. Rummy, and I teach 3rd grade at the Syracuse Academy of Sciences Citizenship School. Hello, 3rd grade, and welcome back to Social Studies to close out our week on this Thursday and Friday. Today we are going to talk about a very important concept in government, especially in democracies, called rights and responsibilities. So what we're going to do in this lesson is I'm going to teach you what rights and responsibilities are. We're going to learn how governments provide rights for their citizens and how they make laws to make sure that people responsibly use those rights. And then we're going to take a look at what rights and responsibilities might look like at a school like ours. And then I'm going to talk about some of the rights that you have in a democracy, and then some of the responsibilities you have to be a good citizen. So sit tight and let's get started. So first let's talk about rights. Rights are basically things that you're allowed to do. But of course, in a democracy or in a school, people can't just do whatever they want. They don't have unlimited rights. This is why we have responsibilities. Responsibilities are a duty or something that you must do. Governments create laws to make sure that people fulfill their responsibilities and to protect people's rights. Let's take a look at what these rights and responsibilities might look like in our school.
So the basic macroeconomics principle is that supply is equal to demand.
That's cool, Mr. Woodruff. But I'm really into this ice cream right now. Can I have marshmallow and chocolate and caramel? You want to try some?
No, I've already had lunch, Austin, thank you.
So, of course you guys already know this, but one responsibility that a student has is to eat lunch during lunchtime, eat snack during snack time, and eat breakfast during breakfast time.
Hey, leave me alone.
Crisscross applesauce.
Don't tell me what to do. Stop it!
I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you.
Get
I'm
away
not
from
touching
me!
you.
Austin, I think, next time there's a better way you can handle that with your classmates if you have any issues with them, alright?
Alright, Mr. W. I'll worry about myself.
So as I was saying earlier, Austin, we're talking about macroeconomics and we're looking at a simple supply and demand curve. We're trying to find the point of equilibrium within that graph. So
That's awesome. Why does it look like an X? Is it like a tic-tac-toe kind of thing?
So we're gonna be covering that in a little bit, Austin. If you wanna hold off.
But what's the S stand for? And
So it's a supply and demand curve, Austin. I just kindly ask that you raise your hand next time if you're able to. Alright, so why do we think that the Federal Reserve lowers interest rates during times of economic recessions? Austin?
Isn't it some kind of method of economic stimulus to increase liquidity in the economy and make it easier for banks to borrow? And yeah, that's right. You also have a responsibility to raise your hand before you ask questions in class. I really gotta go. I can go. Yeah, it's an emergency. Thank you. Just kidding. It's not. So, in that scene, there were a few responsibilities that I wasn't doing right. First of all, I didn't raise my hand. You, as students, have a responsibility to raise your hand if you need to get up and go to the bathroom. Also, you have a responsibility not to mess around in the bathroom while you're in there, and get back to class as quick as you can. So let's talk about what rights you have as a part of our democracy in the United States. one of the coolest rights that we have in this country is the right to vote. And it's awesome to be able to choose who you want to represent you in office. We're going to talk a little bit more about that tomorrow, but that's one of the best rights that we have. We also have a responsibility to be educated voters. We have to learn about the things that we're voting on, not just pick people randomly to go represent us. And we also have a responsibility to use our right to vote, because if no one votes, then we're not really going to be a democracy. Another really cool right we have in the United States is we can go out and make money. And with that money, you can go out and buy things as long as you pay for them. The responsibility that comes along with that right is you can't just take whatever you want. You have to pay for it. Also, people have a responsibility not to steal things from you or your family. And here's another one. It's called trial by jury. That sounds kind of confusing, but basically it means if you are accused of breaking a law, the government can't just throw you straight in jail. You have the right to be judged by other citizens who are on a jury to decide if you're guilty or innocent. The responsibility that goes along with that is sometimes, when you're an adult at least, you might have to serve on a jury. And that means you might have to miss work or take extra time to serve on a jury and make a ruling on whether you think someone else is guilty or innocent. And the last one, and there are many more besides this, but this one's important, is freedom of speech. Have you ever heard someone say, "This is a free country, I can say whatever I want"? Most of the time when they say that, they're right. You're allowed to speak out in public on issues and things that you care about. And this is a really simple example, but one of your responsibilities with freedom of speech is not to do dangerous things with your freedom of speech, like yell fire in a crowded movie theater or public place when there's not really a fire. So let's review what we learned today. We learned that as a citizen in a democracy, you have both rights and responsibility. A right is something that you're able to do because you're a citizen. But, like we talked about, you can't go around doing whatever you want because you also have responsibilities. The government creates laws to make sure that people fulfill and actually pay attention to those responsibilities, and to make sure that other people don't violate your rights. So, whether we're talking about a school or government, or maybe just the rules of your house, there are rights and responsibilities everywhere, and it's really important to understand them, especially when we want to be good citizens here at a school with citizenship in its name. It's been an awesome lesson, and I hope you guys have learned a lot. You can head over to Google Classroom to take care of the exit ticket, and I really look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.